Live from WRAL News headquarters in Raleigh, your number one source for local news. WRAL News, coverage you can count on.
It's warm again today with highs in the 60s. Coming up, I'm tracking showers that will move through.
And a lot of folks are headed through RDU today to head back home after the holidays. Coming up, what you need to know if you're flying today or hitting the highway.
Plus, if you want to help spruce up Wake County parks, you can donate your Christmas tree. How the county will give your tree some new life in a little bit different way. You can get back and visit it year round. I'm Jeff Hogan. It's good to have you with us.
And I'm Keely Arthur. It is a pretty warm December 26th.
Unusual.
Very unusual, and we're not going to see any snow. I know, I think that the hope of that has gone out the window. But Peter, you are tracking a little bit of precipitation later on today.
Yeah, maybe there's some hope in January for us to see snow, but at the moment, it's just rain out there on our dual Doppler 5000. We have some very light showers now moving through Cumberland County, and the shower that we were tracking out there in Chatham County, Durham, and Orange counties fizzling out. So we are done with that one. We have this front that is to the west, bringing a lot of rain across the North Carolina mountains into the foothills. We have a lot of moisture streaming in from the Atlantic. That is going to allow us to see all the cloud cover that we have in place for today. And we could squeeze out some showers into the early morning. Some of those showers are going to continue into the afternoon, and take a look at this at 1 o'clock. It's not widespread by any means. Once we head into, I think, around 5 o'clock, we'll begin to see those showers across the triad move into our region. That is going to bring rain overnight for some of our north and western counties. With an area of low pressure just to the south of us developing, it is going to bring another round of rain early in the morning on Wednesday, and those showers are going to fizzle out as we head into the afternoon. We're taking a live look at Chapel Hill right now, where the streets are damp from those showers that moved through earlier. 55 degrees in the Triangle right now, 58 in Fayetteville. Those clouds really keeping us warm overnight. This afternoon will only climb to 63 degrees. Coming up, I'm going to show you our rain chances for the rest of the week. Also, how much we're expecting.
I'm Eric Miller in the WRAL Live Center. We know it's going to be a busy holiday travel week, but if you got to get out on the roads, now is a great time to do it. Looking at those sensors across the region, things looking very good. It is all green overall right now. Taking a live look outside, this is I-40 at Harrison Avenue. You can see we've got some folks out there on the road, but things are not too busy at this point. Still, that's likely to change as we get into this afternoon. We'll keep a close eye on things, bring you updates as it changes.
Starting today, airports and roads will be busy as people make their way home from Christmas festivities. This comes as a winter storm is affecting flights to and from the Midwest. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from RDU with what folks can expect if they're getting out there traveling today. You've seen the ups and downs throughout the early part of this day, Kelsey.
Well, Jeff, there's hardly any people in the TSA line here behind me, but we do have new information within the last 30 minutes from FlightAware. We now have 19 cancellations and 19 delays here at RDU. Take a look at this video from earlier this morning around 5 o'clock when the TSA line was really long. RDU projected that Christmas Eve would be the day that has the busiest travel time. They estimated that 54,000 people would travel through the airport on that day alone. Now, if you're driving back home today, a lot of folks will be out on the road. AAA estimates that there will be 2.5 million more drivers this holiday season compared to last. They say that the busiest travel times on the roadways today will be between 1 and 5 o'clock. So if you're up already, now is a good time to hit the road. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live at RDU.
Some very sad news to tell you about. A family is mourning after 2 people died in a crash Christmas morning in Fayetteville. It happened just before 11 a.m. on Hope Mills Road and Glensford Drive. Police identified the victims as 47-year-old Jada Fields and 46-year-old Patricia Fields. Investigators say the driver of another car ran a red light and hit their car. No word yet on if that driver will be charged.
This Christmas season, a family is working to rebuild after this fire destroyed everything they had and killed 3 pets. James Newton, his wife and 2 kids were eating out to dinner with family on December 12th when a neighbor called and told him his house in Macon was on fire. Macon is over in Warren County, and the growing family had just moved into that house in September. They lost 2 dogs and a cat in the fire, as well as all the presents they had bought for Christmas. The family has been living in temporary housing since that fire.
It's been a bit depressing, to be honest with you. It's been rough, but we try to stay strong for the kids because we want to make sure that their spirits are still high and they're able to get into the Christmas spirit.
Well, the Newton family is grateful for the community rallying around them and donating clothing and toys for the children. You can visit WRAL.com to find out how to donate and help this Newton family during this Christmas season.
The Hamas-controlled Palestinian Health Ministry says the death toll in Gaza is growing after a deadly 24 hours that included Christmas Day. The Palestinian Health Ministry says at least 250 people were killed from Christmas Eve into Christmas Day. It says another 500 were injured in central Gaza. Israel's military says it is reviewing reports of a Sunday strike at a refugee camp as well. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with Israeli troops in Gaza on Monday. He vowed a long fight is ahead. A close confidant of the Prime Minister is expected to meet with the Biden administration later today.
Several people were arrested during a pro-Palestinian protest in Manhattan on Christmas Day. New York police say one officer suffered minor injuries in a clash with those protesters. Organizers of the rally posted a call for action online as Christmas services in Bethlehem were called off because of the war.
Well, some families in Nash County are celebrating the holiday with some international students. Nash County Schools has welcomed a growing number of foreign exchange students over the years, and this year was no different. WRAL had a chance to join the Thompson family in Rocky Mount for Christmas. Heather Thompson is the Eastern North Carolina coordinator for a national organization that places exchange students in homes across the country. She welcomed 2 students from 2 different countries in her home this year, and they were able to experience some new Christmas traditions.
This morning we woke up at 5:30 to open the presents from Santa Claus, and I've never done that, but I was very excited.
In their applications, most every one of them puts the thing I'm looking most forward to is Christmas. And so then to actually live that with the students is so much fun.
Very fun. And Nash County Schools has 16 exchange students this year from 9 different countries. The national organization is looking for host families in Eastern North Carolina for the coming year. We have information on how you can get involved at WRAL.com.
Starting today, you can donate your Christmas tree to have a new life as part of a Wake County trail. The Wake County Recycling Program turns these donated trees into mulch that help keep the county's parks and trails looking good. There are 8 drop-off locations across the county. You can find the one nearest you online. This program runs through January 28th.
Coming up, a new data shows a record number of parents are opting out of getting their kids the required vaccines for school. Why health experts say this could pose a real threat to school children and their health.
Plus, one family is cherishing time together after they lost nearly everything in a house fire. Hear from this family member who says she's facing a wide range of emotions.
And temperatures are warm again today, above normal for this time of the year in the 60s. But I am tracking rain that will be moving through. Coming up, I'm going to show you our rain chances as we head throughout the rest of this Tuesday into Wednesday. And we are going to watch for some scattered showers as we head into the afternoon. Today is not going to be a washout, but you could run into some of those showers as you hit the highways. We do have some light rain right now moving through some of our southern counties. Let me zoom in here and show you those showers that are moving through Cumberland County right now. They're mainly to the south and east of I-95, and we're going to continue to watch them to lift towards the north and east, so potentially some of that could move into Sampson County for this hour. Overall, the bigger picture here, we have this solid area of low pressure bringing a lot of snow into Nebraska and Kansas. This trailing cold front here is what we are going to watch to bring us rain as we head throughout the day. A lot of moisture streaming in ahead of it from the Atlantic, bringing the cloud cover, and we're seeing most of the rain for this morning out there across the foothills and across the North Carolina mountains in Asheville. Those showers are coming down at the moment. We are going to watch for on and off periods of rain throughout the morning. They're going to be fairly light, very similar to what we're seeing right now. Then once we head into the 5 o'clock hour, most of the rain will be confined across the triad. Those showers are going to be moderate at times and then lift towards the north and east into some of our northwestern counties. And we will get that to lift towards the north into Virginia. Now, tomorrow morning, this area of low pressure to the south is going to bring another round of rain in. It is going to lift towards the east, and those showers are going to gradually clear out throughout the day on Wednesday. Let's go ahead and take a look at what to expect over the next 5 days. You're traveling. I know it's a busy holiday week, and we are going to see mostly dry conditions as we head into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. If you're traveling tomorrow, I think you should be fine as well. Those showers will be really prominent early in the morning. As we take a look here, we cannot rule out about an inch of rainfall across our viewing area with those higher totals across the North Carolina mountains. This is a live look at Apex. The clouds are rolling through. 55 for the temperature in the Triangle, 58 degrees in Fayetteville. It is very warm for this morning, and it's because of those clouds acting like a blanket in the overnight hours, keeping temperatures down this morning. That's why we're waking up to those numbers in the 50s. 63 for the high temperature today, likely to see highs in the 60s as well as the 50s across most of the state. And once we head into tomorrow, we'll still be in the 60s, but that cooler air is going to move in on Friday, and it's going to be chilly as we ring in the new year with highs in the 50s.
I'm Eric Miller in the WRAL Live Center. We're continuing to follow that post-holiday travel, and as we look at the FlightAware misery map, we can see those delays are really starting to build in. We've got 19 delays coming in or out of RDU at this point, and a lot of delays here across the country, most especially New York City. You can see quite a few delays there. That's up to 10 different flights, 115 delays across the country. Dallas, Atlanta, Miami, Charlotte, O'Hare International Airport also seeing some delays as well. So if you're headed out to the airport today, if you are flying, you're going to want to keep a close eye on those travel times, just because we are starting to see those issues pop up today on a busy travel day.
Being together on Christmas Day is extra special for a Sampson County family who lost nearly everything they own in a house fire Friday. Everyone who was inside at the time, 3 adults and 4 kids, got out safely. Their 2 dogs didn't survive, though. Family says the father ran through those flames. He got burned in the process, trying to save as many Christmas presents for his children as possible. This house has special meaning for the family. The owners are the 3rd generation to live in it, and they had hoped their kids would one day be able to spend their adulthood there as well.
Not having somewhere to go. I don't know, just a lot of mixed emotions. I'm glad we're all safe and we were able to get out just in time.
The family is having to stay in a hotel right now. They are hoping to one day rebuild the home.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene was the victim of another swatting incident at her home in Georgia. The Republican representative made the announcement on Christmas Day in a post on X. Greene posted, quote, "I was just swatted. This is like the 8th time on Christmas with my family here." Greene has previously been a victim of these swatting incidents, including last year when there were false reports of shootings happening outside her home.
The FBI is working with law enforcement officials in Colorado to investigate a series of threatening messages posted on social media against 4 Supreme Court justices. The post came after the justices ruled last week to remove Donald Trump from the state's 2024 primary ballot. The names of the 4 Colorado Supreme Court justices who ruled to disqualify Trump from the ballot were posted on social media. Authorities say some of the posts are, quote, incendiary, and some have threatened to reveal some of the judge's personal information.
Pressure appears to be mounting on the Harvard University board to address growing criticism. The New York Times reporting the Harvard Corporation met with current and former faculty members last week. They talked about continued fallout from the board's response to the attack on Israel by Hamas. Harvard also facing pressures, including plagiarism allegations against the university's president, Claudine Gay. A U.S. House committee that is already investigating anti-Semitism at Harvard says it will also look into those plagiarism allegations.
A federal judge has ruled Twitter, now X, has to pay its employees millions of dollars they were promised. A judge has ruled the company violated a contract with its employees. The judge sided with a former executive of that company who sued Twitter, claiming breach of contract. The company has been accused by employees of age discrimination and discrimination against employees with disabilities. Employees have also claimed the company failed to give advance notice of the mass layoffs. The lawsuit against the social media giant claimed employees were promised half of their targeted bonuses, but those payments were never made.
A charter plane that was grounded in France over concerns it was being used for human trafficking has finally landed over in India. For 4 days, about 300 India residents were blocked from leaving a rural French airport. Before the plane departed, a lawyer for the airline said it would be leaving with most of its passengers. However, 2 passengers were detained.
A record number of parents are choosing to opt out of getting their children vaccinated. Data from the CDC shows that during last school year, 3% of kindergartners had waivers to not get the required vaccines. That's an all-time high. Misinformation about vaccines and political beliefs from the COVID-19 pandemic are contributing to the rise in waivers. Health experts say vaccinations among children are needed to stop the spread of diseases like measles. They recommend doctors talk to parents in schools and enforce vaccinations in order to get the percentage up.
A nonprofit is trying to save one of its biggest sources of revenue. Deja Vu thrift store already needs to relocate to make way for a new development. And the founder says they may have to move even sooner because the store's AC went out. The owners are not willing to replace it, knowing the building will soon be gone. The owner says one of the hardest parts is the possibility of not being able to help those in need any longer.
There are domestic violence victims out there and people coming out of recovery who won't have this resource anymore. Some of them will be evicted, some will be homeless. We're just begging the community, if they want our services, to please contribute.
Now, she has her eyes set on a new place in Zebulon. It'll require $150,000 or a loan. If they don't raise enough money, they say this business may close.
Christmas looks a lot different in Hawaii this year, nearly 5 months after wildfires caused one of the worst disasters in that state's history. The holiday has brought a new wave of tourism to Maui, but people on the west side of the island are still struggling after the devastating fires. Frustrated fire victims who need long-term housing rallied in the days before Christmas.
My family have had to move around 5 times, live out of suitcases, and not know when or where the next move will be.
Hawaii's governor has threatened to ban vacation rentals if more owners don't volunteer for a program that would pay them to house displaced fire victims.
Well, chances are you have one of these. One of the most popular Christmas gifts is also one of the ones to be forgotten. Gift cards are the second most given gift at Christmas behind clothing. Finance company Bankrate says 47% of people hold on to at least one unspent card. The average unused amount, $187. If you got a gift card this Christmas, be sure to use it before they hit their expiration date. And some Visa and Master gift cards even apply fees if you don't use them within a year.
It's been a December to remember in China's capital city. Beijing broke its record, a long-standing record, for cold temperatures. As of December 24th, the city had recorded more than 300 hours of below freezing weather since December 11th. That breaks a record that was set in 1951. Beijing has also endured 9 straight days of temperatures below -10 Celsius, which is 14 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, how about this for a Christmas miracle, at least for this family? This is baby Samuel, born Christmas morning at UNC Rex on Christmas Day to his very lucky parents. There they are, Kayla and Sean. Big sister Alyssa is very excited about her new baby brother. Baby Samuel is one of several babies born on this very special day, Christmas Day, here in the Triangle.
Pope Francis used much of his Christmas Day message to call for urgent resolution to the mounting loss of life in the war.
Let us pray for peace in Palestine and Israel.
Pope Francis called the attack on Israel by Hamas terrorists abominable and called the loss of civilian life in Gaza due to Israeli airstrikes appalling. The pontiff also pleaded for peace in other conflicts around the globe, including Ukraine, Armenia, and Sudan.
Well, this is some of the wildest video of the day. Last-minute Christmas shoppers got a shock at a Florida shopping mall. Here, animal control officers wrangled a 12-foot alligator outside a mall on the Gulf Coast last week. The Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission says the gator weighed 600 pounds. There he is, big boy. The sheriff's office says the animal will be moved into safer waterways.
Well, before he delivered presents to children all over the world, Santa scheduled in some time with an adorable resident at the San Antonio Zoo. The zoo shared this video on social media. It shows Santa meeting the baby sloth, Aluna. Zoo staff created an Amazon wish list for Aluna and her fellow animals just in case Santa didn't bring them everything they wanted. We're at 8:23 right now, and coming up, the roads and air are busy today as people return home from the holiday gatherings. We'll tell you when the busiest times will be, so you'll know when to hit the road.
Plus, a caravan of migrants from Central and South America countries on its way to the U.S. border. We'll tell you the efforts to control the migrant surge.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio in Raleigh on 99.3 FM, in Durham 96.5 FM, and everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Good morning, everyone. It's 8:26. I'm Keely Arthur here with your top stories. Big story of the day, warm weather. Peta, you're tracking a little bit of rain, though.
Yeah, those showers are very light in nature, moving through some of our southern counties out there in Cumberland County. We are seeing those isolated showers for this morning, and we have a better chance of seeing scattered showers by the afternoon. That will continue into the evening and tonight. Otherwise, our temperatures are warm for this time of the year. We should be in the 50s, and today will top at 63 degrees, 66 tomorrow, and then 60 degrees for Thursday. Cooler weather's on the way for the end of the week.
Taking a look at your traffic here on the day after Christmas. It is so far so good out there from Durham all the way down. It is green on the sensors at this point. Taking a live look outside right now. This is I-40 at Aviation Parkway. You can see just a couple of people out on the road. Of course, the advice from AAA is if you are going to be traveling today or the next few days, you want to get out early. And looking at those roads right now, you can see why.
Well, roads clear with some issues with airports across the country, and here at RDU, busy as people head home for the holidays. RDU has 19 delays so far, no cancellations, most of them coming from Southwest Airlines. And on the roads, AAA estimates there will be 2.5 million more drivers this holiday season compared to last. They say the busiest time today will be between 1 and 5 p.m. Well, 2 people were killed in a crash on Christmas morning in Fayetteville. It happened on Hope Mills Road and Glensford Drive. People identified victims as Jada Fields and Patricia Fields. Investigators say their car collided when another driver ran a red light. Well, next on Fox 50, how you can donate your Christmas tree to help spruce up some Wake County parks.
Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
We've got warm temperatures on track in the 60s this afternoon, and that's going to come with a few showers. Coming up, I'm going to show you the areas with a better chance of seeing rain this afternoon.
Plus, it is a very busy day for travelers on the road and at airports across the country. What you need to know if you're heading out today.
Gates are open and Christmas tree recycling now underway in Wake County, where you can drop off your old Christmas tree and how it can help spruce up Wake County parks.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm Keely Arthur.
I'm Jeff Hogan. Yeah, the Christmas tree thing, I'm a post January 1st.
Yeah, relax a little. I mean, the program goes, what, until the end of January? Yeah. So you have time. You don't have to get rid of it just yet.
Maybe the 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah.
I don't know, depending on pickup that day. I'm Jeff Hogan. It's good to have you with us here today on our Tuesday. And Peter Sherwood is over in the WRAL Severe Weather Center with these warm temperatures and a little precipitation in some areas.
Very light showers moving through Cumberland County right now. And I'm watching some of the rain that's out there in Lumberton as well. That's going to continue to lift towards the north and the east. We did have a quick shower out there in Durham County earlier this morning, but that is fizzling as it lifts out. This front is bringing a lot of rain for the North Carolina mountains. we are going to see a lot more moisture stream in from the south and east off the Atlantic. That's why all the clouds are out there for this morning. And while some of those clouds are going to keep us dry, some of them could squeeze out a few showers for the rest of the morning. I think some of those showers across the south down near the North Carolina and Virginia line will begin to stream in. So plan for a few isolated showers early this morning. Once we head into the afternoon, scattered showers will begin to move in, especially for our north and western counties. And those are going to gradually lift towards the north throughout the overnight hours. Rain possible early in the morning on Wednesday as an area of low pressure to the south feeds in a little bit more moisture. So do plan for some of those spotty showers, especially as we head into this afternoon and tonight. Right now in Apex, it's dry, it's cloudy, it's warm, 55 degrees. For the current temperature in the Triangle in Fayetteville, it's 58. By the afternoon, we're talking about high temperatures in the 60s. Once again, it certainly does not feel like December. Coming up, I'm going to show you when those numbers are going to drop to where they should be for this time of the year in the afternoons.
Taking a look at your traffic here on this Tuesday morning, the day after Christmas. Things looking very good so far for folks getting back to work or maybe heading home at this point. We are not seeing any major issues on the roads just yet. Look at live outside I-40 at Harrison Avenue now. You can see things very smooth, very clear, and just not a lot of traffic here at this point. Different story, though, when we're talking about that FlightAware misery map. Those folks heading out for flights today traveling, you may have some issues there. FlightAware reporting 115 delays, mostly here in the mid-Atlantic and the New York and D.C. areas, but Atlanta starting to build in here as well. Keep a close eye on this, let you know as those delays continue to grow.
Well, thank you, Eric. Airports across the country will, of course, be busy this week as people return home from their holiday travels. That includes RDU, which you're taking a live look at, and WRAL's Kelsey Coffey explains what people need to know if they are traveling today.
There's hardly any people in the TSA line here behind me, but check out this video from earlier today, probably at about 5 o'clock this morning. That TSA line was really long. RDU projected that Christmas Eve would be the busiest travel day this holiday season. They estimated that 54,000 people would travel through the airport on that day alone. And here's a word of advice for the folks who are headed out on a flight later today.
Leave ahead of time, at least 2 hours from your estimated destination time, just to avoid the heavy traffic.
And if you're driving back home today, a lot of people will be out on the road. AAA estimates there are 2.5 million more drivers this holiday season compared to last. They say that the busiest times on the roadways today will be between 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. So now is the time to get on the road. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News at RDU.
This Christmas season, a family is forced to rebuild after a fire destroyed everything they owned and killed 3 of their pets. James Newton, his wife, and 2 kids were out to dinner with family on December 12th when a neighbor called and told him his house in Macon was on fire. That's in Warren County. The growing family had just moved into that house in September. They lost 2 dogs and a cat in the fire, as well as all the presents they had bought for Christmas. The family has been living in temporary housing since the fire. The Newton family is grateful for the community rallying around them and donating clothing and toys for the kids. And visit WRAL.com if you want to find out how to donate and help the Newton family this Christmas.
Well, breaking news overnight, the U.S. military has conducted retaliatory strikes against Iranian-backed militia groups. This comes after 3 U.S. troops were injured in a drone attack in northern Iraq. President Biden ordered the attacks last night. They happened at about 4:45 in the morning Iraq time. They are in retaliation for a drone attack from Iranian-backed militants. One of the troops who was hurt in the drone attack is critically injured. This latest attack on U.S. troops comes after months of escalating threats and actions against American forces in the region since the start of the Israel-Hamas war.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is pledging to keep up his fight against Hamas militants. Netanyahu visited troops in northern Gaza Monday. The visit comes as a UN humanitarian team says Palestinians in Gaza, even those who obey evacuation orders, can't be guaranteed they'll be able to get out safe. And more than 20,000 people in Gaza have been killed since fighting began. Netanyahu says Israel will not succeed in freeing its remaining hostages without military pressure. The Israeli Minister of Strategic Affairs is expected to meet with White House officials in Washington today.
A sprawling caravan of migrants from Central America, Venezuela, and other countries is on its way from Mexico to the U.S. border. The caravan is estimated at about 6,000 people. The procession comes just days before Secretary of State Antony Blinken will arrive in Mexico City. There, he will work with Mexican leaders on efforts to control the surge of migrants seeking entry into the U.S. This month alone, as many as 10,000 migrants were arrested each day at the U.S.-Mexico border.
A family is mourning after 2 people died in a crash in a Christmas morning crash in Fayetteville. This happened just before 11 a.m. on Hope Mills Road and Glensford Drive. Police identified the people killed, husband and wife, 47-year-old Jada Fields, 46-year-old Patricia Fields. Investigators say the driver of another car ran a red light and hit their car. No word yet on whether that driver will be charged.
Well, if you're over Christmas already, starting today, you can help spruce up Wake County parks and trails by donating your tree. WRAL's Brett Neese explains where you can donate your tree and how the county will give it new life.
There are 8 different drop-off spots across Wake County, including this one right here on Yates Mill Pond Road at the convenience center behind me, that you can drop off your Christmas tree so it can be recycled. Take a look. This is what that process has looked like in the past. They've been doing this for over 10 years here in Wake County. Just last year, they collected 4,828 trees. Those are all turned into about 83 tons of mulch. Crews then use that mulch throughout a number of county parks to spruce them up. You can recycle your tree for free until January 28th of next year. The only thing the county asks you to do is take down all the decorations before you drop it off. We got that full list of all of the drop-off locations on our website. In Raleigh, Brett Neese, WRAL News.
New this morning, the Powerball jackpot is climbing even higher. No one matched all the numbers for the Christmas night drawing, so that means tomorrow night's jackpot is now worth $685 million. Winning numbers were 5, 12, 20, 24, and 29. The Powerball was 2. Or the Powerball there is 4. The multiplier is 2. Now, you can watch tomorrow night's drawing right here on WRAL right before our 11 o'clock news.
The Baltimore Ravens shined in a Christmas night showdown with the San Francisco 49ers. Lamar Jackson threw 2 touchdown passes as the Ravens pulled away in the third quarter. This one to Nelson Aguilar. The 49ers, meanwhile, struggled on the offense. Quarterback Brock Purdy, who threw 4 interceptions, was injured on this hit late in the game. The Ravens got the win 33-19. They now have the very best record in the NFL at 12-3. Coming up, the Christmas gifts are unwrapped, and it may be time for a few returns. What you need to know about some changes this year to retailers' return policies.
And RDU is just one of many airports seeing a lot of holiday travelers. We'll tell you about the headaches people are feeling in the Midwest and facing as winter weather moves through and causes more trouble.
Plus, you are taking a live look at Sanford this morning. We're tracking spotty showers with rain on the way, maybe tonight and possibly tomorrow. Meteorologist Peter Sherwood is tracking it all for us after the break. Welcome back. You're taking a live look at kind of a gloomy Southern Pines and watching WRAL News, available on Spectrum and the WRAL app on your TV or streaming device. And Peta, it's a little gloomy kind of everywhere right now. It's warm, but we're expecting some showers.
Yeah, those clouds are out there, and we're also seeing some very light rain this morning move into some of our southern counties. At the moment, Pinehurst, Southern Pines, you guys are seeing dry conditions, but some showers are moving through Fayetteville at the moment in Cumberland County. Some of those showers as well moving through eastern Sampson County, and they're lifting to the north and east. They're very light for this hour, and they'll be light throughout the rest of the morning and really rolling through some of our southern areas. Once we head into, let's say, 5 o'clock, we'll begin to see some of the rain that is out there in the triad move into our region and stay with us into the overnight hours. Then we're going to get another round to move in across our southern counties as we head into the early morning hours from an area of low pressure that's going to bring the rain early in the morning on Wednesday, and those showers are going to lift towards the north and east throughout the morning and gradually clear out as we head throughout the day. Wednesday is shaping up to be a drier day as most of the rain should clear out of here by the afternoon. Let's take a look at those temperatures, though. Very warm for today, tomorrow, and Thursday. It does not feel like December, with a high of 63 degrees on Tuesday. And then tomorrow we'll be at 66 and 60 as we head into Thursday. Typically for this time of the year, we should be at 53 degrees, and that's not going to be the case over the next 3 days. But just wait a little while. By Friday, that cold air out of the Midwest will slide to the southeast, and there you have it. Temperatures are going to drop into the 50s. We're also going to see chilly temperatures for the start of the new year. Here's your New Year's Eve forecast. Temperatures expected in the 40s around 8 p.m. And then by midnight, we're down to 39 degrees. It is going to be chilly as we ring in the new year. This is a live look at Andrew this morning with all the clouds out there. Dry in that area, warm with temperatures in the mid 50s for the Triangle, 58 degrees for Fayetteville. Those clouds really acting like a blanket in the overnight hours, keeping those temperatures on the mild side. And then this afternoon, we'll climb to 63 degrees, and we are going to see those isolated showers turn scattered into the afternoon and evening. Rain chances are out of here for Thursday. We have a small chance of rain on Friday. Temperatures will be cold as we get back down into the 30s to start the day, and high temperatures expected in the 50s, even as we head into the first day of the new year.
Thanks, Peta. Well, 2 people were hurt after a gas line caught fire in downtown Raleigh. It happened on Old Wilmington Road and East Russell Street just before 11:45 Sunday night. When crews got to the scene, they found a large fire burning along a gas line by a bridge. One person who lives nearby talked with WRAL's Gilbert Bays about what he saw as crews battled those flames.
As we came out last night, noticed over there the flames was extremely high up to the wires, and it was just going from all up under the bridge, extremely high.
Investigators determined the gas line had a leak. It's still unclear how that fire started, though.
Dozens of pro-Palestinian demonstrators turned out near the home of National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan in Washington on Christmas morning. They carried posters denouncing President Biden for his support of Israel, comparing him to Hitler. The Shut It Down for Palestine protesters also demonstrated outside the home of Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin.
Police in Serbia have detained nearly 40 people after a protest over reports of balloting irregularities in the country's recent election. A group called Serbia Against Violence has been staging protests since the election last week. The incumbent populists were declared winners of parliamentary and local elections. But an international watch group says the elections were held under unjust conditions, and there is evidence of both voter intimidation and vote buying.
Winter weather in the Midwest is causing some problems on the roads and at airports for Christmas travelers. People in South Dakota, Colorado, and Nebraska were under a blizzard warning on Christmas Day. Slick conditions, dangerous ones as well, caused several semis to jackknife off of highways, forcing authorities to close down one major interstate in Nebraska. That same system caused dense fog in Chicago, causing dozens of flight delays and cancellations, and that left holiday travelers frustrated.
Just a lot of disappointment, man. Supposed to left yesterday. I'm just trying to get to my family in Texas.
It's terrible. I'm just keep trying to keep a smile, keep a positive outlook to keep from crying.
Well, Chicago's Midway Airport is a busy hub for Southwest Airlines. A spokesperson for Southwest says that it was all hands on deck to find alternate flights for passengers stuck in Chicago.
Well, you got your Christmas gifts, but maybe someone got you the wrong size or color, so it's time for a return. Well, this year, some return policies are a little bit different. Some retailers have changed their policy in order to cut down on various expenses and reduce return volumes. You really need to pay close attention. Amazon is only receiving returns on purchases made on or after November 1st. Target has an extended window for electronics if bought between October 1st and Christmas Eve. Walmart has a January 31st deadline for items bought in October through December 31st.
For many, Christmas is full of celebrations and joy, but for some, the holidays can be a time when feelings of loneliness and isolation increase. A new survey from dating app Flirtini found 75% of people feel lonelier during the holidays compared to other times of the year. The same research found 35% of adults would like to have a date for the holidays. Dating strategists and therapists say it's actually a great time to meet someone, even meet new friends.
While loneliness can really be amplified during the holidays, it's actually the best time to get out and meet people. There's so much buzz in the air. There's a lot of festivities, activities that you can get involved in.
42% of people polled by Eventbrite say they're looking for more personal activities during the holiday season. And that can include cooking classes, baking workshops, or holiday movie nights.
President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden called some service members who spent Christmas Day away from their homes. In a photo shared on social media, Jill Biden wrote, "From one military family to another, their hearts are with the service members keeping us safe around the world and their loved ones who may be missing them a little extra today." She also wrote, "On behalf of all Americans, they are grateful to them and their families and wish them a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays."
A group of children now has a renovated home to go to. Volunteers remodeled the Central Children's Home of North Carolina in Granville County. The center offers a place for children who are dependent or who have been neglected or even abused. From replaced flooring to new playground equipment, the Mungo Homes team gave the gift of a new and improved home environment.
Some people in Nebraska woke up to this, a really white Christmas. You can see the blizzard conditions in the town of Cedar. Now, between 5 and 11 inches or more of snow is expected to accumulate by the end of today.
Well, the community stepped up to serve folks in Raleigh in need of a hot meal for the holidays. The big Christmas meal at City Market. It's organized by local businesses and volunteers, and in past years, they have served hundreds of people with a warm meal. The need is still great, and they are expected to do the exact same thing for them today.
Today in entertainment news, a delayed honor for an acclaimed actress and the first look at the second half of a hit sci-fi adventure. Here's David Daniel with the Hollywood Minute.
Imagine knowing you could do something that no one else could do.
Naiad star Annette Bening was supposed to receive the Golden Medallion Award at this year's Telluride Film Festival, where the movie premiered. But the festival took place during the actors' strike, so it's holding a special tribute event January 6th in Los Angeles. Actress and director Meg Ryan will present the award, and Benning's Naiad co-star Jodie Foster will moderate a discussion with Bening about her career.
The time has come for all that you love. Show them no mercy.
You stand between us and annihilation.
Here's your first look at Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver. Part 1, A Child of Fire, debuted last week on Netflix and hit #1 on the streamer's top movies chart. The second half of filmmaker Zack Snyder's sci-fi epic arrives April 19th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Well, a big battle could be brewing in the superhero world. Marvel is said to be considering an Avengers and X-Men crossover movie. There have already been very popular crossovers between the franchises in comic books. Marvel acquired the rights to the X-Men in 2019 after the merger between Disney and 20th Century Fox.
A visit to an Arkansas park paid off big for one lucky guy. Jerry Evans visited Crater of Diamonds State Park with his girlfriend earlier this year. Picked up a shiny thing he thought was a piece of glass off the ground. The park's name and history, though, made him suspicious, so he took it to a specialist, and that's when he found out it's a 5-carat diamond, the biggest diamond found at the park in years. People have found thousands of diamonds there since the early 1900s.
Oh my goodness. Well, before we go to the break, here's a look at the winning lottery numbers, and we'll get another check on weather and traffic next.